Hello everyone. So today we're going to learn a few things about ProjectLibre. Very basic introductory class. So, what is ProjectLibre? It's a project management software which you can plan, schedule, manage, track all of your activities and all of your projects. So let's just jump right into it. This is the basic opening screen that you'll find. Here, let's just create a new project. Okay. It's asking project name. Now, as I work in the pipelines industry, so basically what we do is we survey the pipeline routes. So I'm just going to name it survey pipeline A. You can give it name manager, you can give it a start date. Let's just press OK. And here it is. Okay. This is where this is a basic spreadsheet where we're going to list out all our activities. And this is where my Gantt bar chart is going to appear. Now, before starting any project, what I always do is I set up my calendar. You can set up your calendar from here. In File and Calendar. Now, in this calendar, you can see that Saturdays, these highlighted columns means that they're holidays. Now, in many places, Saturdays and Sundays are holidays, but at a lot of places, Saturdays and Sundays are not holidays. At some places, even Sunday is not a holiday. So, how do I rectify this? Because I'll just give you an example. Let's just say I'll just write anything here. A. Okay. And I give the duration as 5. So, when I give the duration of 5 days, it actually ends up taking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. It takes 7 days. Because what ProjectLibre is doing, it's taking into account your Saturdays and Sundays. So but I'm going to work on this Saturday. So I need to change it. Let's just delete this entire thing. Okay, so we'll go to calendar and we'll make a new calendar right here. Now it can be a copy of the calendar or it can be a entirely new one. So we'll just make a copy. Let's name it PL5. Okay. So now what do I want to change? I want the Saturdays to be working days. If I want to select an individual day, I'm going to select on that date. If I want to select all the days falling in the week, falling on that day, I'm just going to select this S. So it selects all the Saturdays. Now I get 3 options here. Use default, non-working time. Non-working time is useful if you want to convert a working day into a non-working day. And then there is a non-default working time. So by default, Saturday is a holiday. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use it as a non-default working time. So let's just say it's set as 8 o'clock to 12 and then 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You can also edit it. Just say you work till 6, but I'm just going to keep it as 5. Okay. So now all of your Saturdays are working days. Now let's say that you know that 24th of June 2020 is also a holiday. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to select this non-working time here. Now this is a holiday. Say 26 is also a holiday. That is also a holiday. Nice. You can create a calendar and you can save it for later. You can use it for other projects too. So I've created this PL5 and I'm going to go okay. What you're basically doing in calendar is just creating a calendar. It hasn't been applied here. You can see this S and the Saturday and Sunday both are still highlighted. It means they're still holidays. So how am I going to apply this calendar into my project? See this information button here. Let's go here. And here it shows a lot of things. One of them is this base calendar. Now, you see this PL5, whatever you create is going to end up here. So instead of standard, I'm going to select as PL5. I'm going to close this. Let's just do a little bit. Let's say A here. And okay, it got edited. So now only my Sunday is a holiday. And you remember one of the days in between where we place that as holiday too. So this one gets highlighted. So first thing, update your calendar. And we'll delete all this again. So now let's start with our actual schedule. The first thing that I do is I write my project name here. Now my project name is survey pipeline A. Now a project has a lot of phases. Let's just write it here. Let's just list out all the activities that we're going to do. We'll add the phases later. First thing we do is collecting KML files, collecting maps, then the desktop study. After that, we conduct the actual survey. We conduct some soil investigation survey. Soil investigation. There is a detailed survey. We analyze all the data that was collected. Then we prepare reports and we prepare some drawings. And finally, we submit it back to the client. Just a very, very basic bifurcation actually. So these are all the activities that I'm going to do. What I want to do is I want to divide all these activities into various phases. Like I know that these collecting KML maps and desktop study, these three things are going to be in my planning phase. So I want to add a new activity here. I'm going to right click here and new. Exactly like Excel. So this is my planning phase. Now, as I said, these three things, what are they? They are a part of this planning phase. So I want some visual representation for that. If I go to task, there's this indent and outdent options. It's not just a visual thing. It's much more than that actually, but anyway. So when I select this collecting KML and I press indent, so it automatically becomes a part of my planning phase. I can collapse it. I can get it back up. So now collecting maps also, I'm going to indent it. The desktop study also, I'm going to indent. You don't need to select all these individually. You can just collectively select them. Let's say you mistakenly indented something, just outdent it. Again, you want to indent it, put it back there. So my planning phase is complete. Now I want my, what shall we call this? My field work. And my survey, soil investigation, detailed survey are all going to be part of the field work. So I'm going to indent it. I'm going to, what happened? Okay. As it happens, this field work actually ended up being a part of my planning phase. So I'm going to outdent this thing. I'm going to select all these. I'm going to outdent them too. Cut this thing here and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So these three are going to be indented here. Now for data analysis, report and drawings, again, we'll get a new one. We'll give it a name as our reporting phase. Let's just call it that. Okay, we're going to outdent this thing and indent these three things here. Now submission, let's just keep it as it is. We're just submitting all the things that we've collected. Now our project breakdown is complete. What this will help you achieve is you can have a work breakdown structure prepared. So you can see this WBS here. You click on it now. Shows a pretty good chart here for you that this is your entire project, and in your project you have something is wrong here. Let's go back to our Gantt chart. Okay, so all the phases are here, but they still are not a part of my entire project. I'm going to select all of them, one more indent. So now they all are a part of this project. Now let's go back to our work breakdown structure. Okay, now it's better. You have your project, survey pipeline A, you have your field work, your reporting phase, planning phase, and in that you have all the further activities. So have your cost. We will be adding cost. So all these things are going to be filled out too. Let's go back to our Gantt chart. You can go back to Gantt by clicking on this Gantt here. Now, we have listed out all our activities. Let's just give them a duration. I know that collecting the KML will take a day. Collecting maps, can take 2 to 3 days. Sometimes you have to talk with the government people. Desktop study is going to take a further 5 days. Survey, let's just give it 10 days. Soil investigation as 12 and detailed survey as 30 days. Data analysis, let's give it a week. Report, another 10 days, and drawing another 10 days. Submission, let's give submission 0 days. Now, when you look here, this bar chart here, 1 day, so automatically gets a chart here. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, and it considers your Sunday too. So this is actually 6 days. Now, this 0 here, this is a very different, this is a milestone. A milestone can be used at any stage of your project that you feel, marks a very major accomplishment. So I could have placed it after my fieldwork was completed or after my reports are completed, but I placed it when I'm submitting everything that I have. You can use milestones at any part of your project where you have achieved something significant. So now we're going to look at the predecessors. Predecessor is just an activity that you need to complete before starting your next activity, before starting your main primary point of concern. Let's just say data analysis. For me to start a data analysis, I first need to collect my data, and the data will be collected from your fieldwork. So for data analysis, the predecessor becomes the activity that needs to be completed to start data analysis will be my soil investigation and detailed survey, and of course the survey too. Once they're completed, I can start my data analysis. So for data analysis, the predecessors are these 3. Let's just start giving out predecessors here. Collecting KML, that is my first activity. That is how I'm going to start. So no predecessors there. Collecting maps, I'm going to collect maps based on the KML received. So I'm going to write 3. 3 because the collecting KML activity, this one, it's on the 3rd number of row. So you do it like this. Predecessor 3, which means collecting KML. The desktop study is going to start after my maps are available. So 4. Survey will start after the desktop study is completed. 5. Now soil can start as soon as the desktop study is completed. So I'm going to write 5 here too. So both these are going to run side by side. My detailed survey, now I know that detailed survey will start only after basic survey is completed. So I'm going to write 7 here. Data analysis we can do after my detailed survey and my soil investigation is complete. So my detailed survey is at number 9 and soil investigation number 8. Number 8 and number 9. Both of these activities are going to affect my data analysis. Report, as soon as I have analyzed my data, I can start my report. Same for drawings. To submit, my drawings need to be completed and my report need to be completed. So 12 and 13. So that's it. Now if we do zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so here you can see a very nice flow here. So whatever is in red, they are my critical activities. They need to be, if they get delayed by a single day, your entire project gets delayed by a single day. So if it gets, so these activities needs to be completed as soon as possible. Your blue activities, they can be delayed. My soil investigation can even complete on, let's say, 12th of July, and I wouldn't care. It wouldn't affect my entire project. So this is how you get a good network. You can see that network here from this network button. The red boxes are your critical activities. Here, and at final is the submission. So as of now, we have a work breakdown structure, we have a network, we have prepared a nice Gantt chart here, and we have scheduled our activities and given them predecessors. Now, I also want to have a brief idea about the cost that's going to go into it. As we discussed this WBS, what this cost is going to be. To get a cost estimate, we would need to add these resources here. And, right now we do not have, we haven't added any resources, so we cannot type anything here. To add resources, go to this resource and click on this resources. This will bring us to our resource sheet. And we can name them however we want. Let's say my first resource is engineer. Then we have a geologist. We would have a surveyor, an assistant surveyor, and a draftsman. So these are our resources. If you have, let's say, if you're working with cement or steel, so you can change the type to material. Right now, we're going to keep it as work only. The initials, they get auto-generated. That's fine. If you see here, the standard rate, let's just hide any one of these. Basic right click here and hide this column. Okay. So now I can see engineer. I want the engineer standard rate. Maybe 400 rupees per hour. Geologist also 400 per hour. Surveyor, we would say 350 per hour. Assistant surveyor 200. And your draftsman also, let's put him at 200. You can put in whatever the rates that apply to you actually. There is the overtime rate too. So some places do give overtime. So you can add those here if you want. Now that we have our resources here, remember the work breakdown structure. Similarly, you get a resource breakdown structure. Right now we just have it like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically indent this. Indent the surveyor is going to work for the assistant surveyor. So my draftsman will work under the geologist. So just cut it and paste it here and indent the draftsman. So now when you will look at your resource breakdown structure, so yeah, it just looks better, nothing else. You can also prepare organizational charts using this method. So now that we have added our resources here, we can go to task and back to our GAN. This thing a little bit smaller. Resource name, okay. Collecting KML, my engineer will be doing this. And so automatically it gets written engineer here. KML maps also, let's say engineer. Desktop study, also engineer. The survey work will be done by my assistant surveyor. My soil investigation will be done by a geologist. And our detailed survey will be done by surveyor. You don't need to type it all the time. You can also go to assign resources. Click your assistant survey here and assign it. Data analysis will be done by the engineer. Reports also by him. And drawings by the draftsman. Okay, so there we have it. Now, if I would actually look at my work breakdown structure, I would get a cost estimate here. So, I would get that my entire project is going to take 2,06,800. My individual phases are going to take this much amount of money. And now, we have prepared all this. The next thing we want to do is, we want to mail it to someone. We want to take a printout of it. Simply go to File. There's a preview option here. You click it. It's like a print composer. So you can select the printers. Select ProjectLibre PDF. or whatever printer you have. You can select the orientation, landscape works. The paper size, you can select if you only want the Gantt chart to appear or if you only want the spreadsheet to appear. Let's keep both of them. Scale a little bit, we'll decrease the width so that everything comes onto a single page. Once it is okay, you're satisfied with it, just if you want a PDF, click on this and it will generate a PDF for you. If you want to print the file, select this and it print the file based on the printer you selected. And that's it basically. This is how we have just prepared a very, very basic schedule. You can get it as detailed as you want. Some people also add transportation cost, transportation time. It's going to look as much time you give into it. So I hope this was fun, and well, that's it for today. Thank you.